I think personally that everything is pointing at saying Alabama will win this game. Everything, the stats, the numbers, the fact that how Alabama was in the SEC championship, you name it. And that is exactly why I think they're wrong. That's exactly why I think Oklahoma will win this game on Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's the standalone game to start the college football playoffs. Now, look, you can talk about how Oklahoma hasn't won a college football playoff game since 2014, ever. They're 0-4 in the college football playoff format, right? You can talk about how Alabama obviously has had some success. They made it to the SEC championship game. They lost. I know some people were kind of throwing some shade. Last time we talked about Alabama and Oklahoma, you said that you're talking about the momentum. Well, they did lose the game. Okay, so be it. Got it. But they made it to the SEC championship. I got what you were saying. Some of our commenters did not, which is fine. On the flip side, Oklahoma beat Alabama this year. 100% did. Now, they let up a lot of yards against Alabama, a defense that's supposed to look really good this year. They're one of the top defenses in the country. But here's the biggest thing that I have. Venables against teams in postseason rematches are 4-0. He is 4-0 against teams in postseason rematches. Now, on the flip side, though, in the college football playoffs, when they meet, they're 0-2. Again, everything pointing towards Alabama to win this game. Oklahoma is going to win this football game. I think John Mateer steps up. I think that defense steps up, and they're going to play a chip on their shoulder and say, get this disrespect out of here in Norman. Get it out of here.
I think that there is a very good argument that this Oklahoma team is just being overlooked. Like that's, and I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, there's a huge argument for Alabama. And when you look at what Oklahoma's done this year, they're in the playoff for a reason. Like there are a lot of really good teams that didn't make it into the playoff. Now, is it because of the badge on their chest or is it because they've actually earned it is a different conversation, but they earned it on some level to be in this game, right? They are a very good team. And they've beaten some very good teams. They've beaten some bad teams very handedly. I think when I look at their full body of work, there is not a ton of holes in this. Like obviously a little bit of a beatdown against Texas, but that Ole Miss game, still one score loss. Like this Oklahoma team is going to find a way to be in every single game. And, you know, you mentioned everything points towards Alabama winning this game. I actually have a few things that I don't love about Alabama's game. I watching the SEC championship, there were definitely, it felt like some major holes in what they were doing over there. And Oklahoma, I think, has the capability to really rip this thing open. Obviously, you mentioned John Mateer, been a very good quarterback for them this year with 2,500 yards. Blaylock, 444 yards on the ground, and Sategna with 948 through the air, nearly 1,000 yards. This is a very high-powered offense. Like they can go and score with the best of them. You're saying it. Don't sleep on them. I'm saying it again. Like this team. We're gonna get to the predictions here at the end, but it's a 50-50. I'm not counting Oklahoma out.
If John Mateer and the offense of Oklahoma start fast, it's over very quickly. Yeah. That's what I think. I think that if the offense of Oklahoma is just 10% better than what they were in some of these other close games, even the Alabama game, I think that they win this game handily. If you look at how Georgia treated Alabama in the SEC game, the fact how they pressured Ty Simpson, how they got 3 sacks on him, and the 3 sacks wasn't even doing justice of the amount of pressure that Ty Simpson had to face in that football game. He only threw for 212, had a touchdown and a pick. That's it. They rushed for -3 yards in the football game. Oklahoma, last time I checked, were the 5th best running defense in the country. And then, yes, they do allow some passing yards. When you look at the game against Alabama and Oklahoma, they allowed a lot of passing yards, 400-something total yards. 300 of that was through the air. But Oklahoma also got 3 turnovers. They won the turnover margin by 3. So they might throw a lot, but they're going to get some interceptions and some turnovers. This Oklahoma defense is enough to take care of Alabama. And if they pressure Ty Simpson, which although Georgia did a really good job, I think Oklahoma's going to do a better job because average sacks per game in the country, guess who's number 1? The Sooners.
Could it be Oklahoma?
Brent Venables. Yeah, absolutely. I think that they learned their lessons. Although they got the W, although they won a month ago in Tuscaloosa, I think Oklahoma learned their lessons and say, we can do this even better. Not only do I think they beat Alabama, I think they beat Alabama to where it's not a final play at the end of the game. They're going to win by 2 possessions.
You talk about, Oklahoma's offense could be the reason they win this game, especially if they get out early. I think when Alabama has the ball, it's a liability situation. When you talk about the run defense, and how good Oklahoma's been, but also how bad Alabama was against Georgia, the way I see it is this: Oklahoma is totally okay with bending, but not breaking. Obviously, not giving up 60-yard touchdowns. They're okay with letting Alabama throw the ball. If they get into the red zone, fine. If they get inside the 5, fine. They can stop the run, right? I think once you're inside the 10 and you're throwing for touchdowns, it's a lot harder to throw than it is to run for touchdowns. So Oklahoma wins that battle, in my opinion. And then when you talk about the Alabama side of things, when they have the ball, I'm not exactly sure what drive it was against Georgia in that SEC championship game, but there was one drive towards the end of the game where it was kind of a must-have-it situation. The play calling wasn't there, just wasn't there. Not even necessarily, are you going to run it or are you going to throw it? It was like 3rd and 1, and they ended up going for it on 4th and 1, and they didn't run it on 3rd. And like that makes sense when you're really getting throttled in the run game. But the throws they decided to make were high difficulty throws. I mean, I just didn't love what I saw from Alabama in that case. So if Oklahoma gets out early, which is what happened, in that SEC championship game, Georgia got out ahead. I don't think Alabama has the capability to get back in this game. I seriously think this is becoming, the more I look at this, whoever gets out early comes away with the win. Even if Alabama gets out early, I have more hope in Oklahoma. So I think we're on the same page here. Give me the Sooners, dude.
Yeah, if Mateer only threw for 138, he didn't have a touchdown or a pick in the game. Remember, Oklahoma had 3 turnovers. Alabama didn't have any. That Oklahoma won Oklahoma had a +3 turnover margin, is what I should say. Make sure it was good for Oklahoma, bad for Bama in that case. Just make sure I'm saying it the right way. If John Mateer, it just improves slightly, and I'm talking like, look what he did earlier that season against Ole Miss, right? Also a college football playoff team. He went 17 for 31. He threw for 223 and 1 touchdown. That's nothing crazy. That's not breaking the bank, but that is significantly better than what he did against Alabama. If he has that stat line, they take care of business. If he runs for it, if he gets a touchdown, maybe runs for 1 as well. If the running game continues, if Oklahoma wins the turnover battle, which seems possible, seems very likely, actually, based on what we've seen from Alabama in the SEC championship game and what we saw in this game just a month ago. Well, I guess, yeah, it was really just a month ago, November 15th, almost to the date. So I personally think they win this game handily if that all happens. That's how confident I am of Oklahoma winning this one. I think people are sleeping on this team very hard.
Yeah, and it's because it's Alabama, right? It's because of that cursive or whatever you want to call it. It's because of the patch on the side of their helmet, on the front of their jersey. When you break it down, like, it does start to feel like an Oregon JMU preview. Like, it's not that one-sided, but it does start to feel like, I don't know how Oklahoma loses this game. Like, I think all the things that are like, oh, if only this happens and this happens and this happens, like, Alabama fans are going to say, well, that's a lot of things that have to happen. It's like, well, it's not like I'm flipping a coin here and saying I have to get heads 10 times in a row. Like, that's like, It's not like rolling a dice and getting a 1 6 times in a row. It's like I'm basically just throwing the ball at the hoop. Like, it's not like there's really an alternate outcome. I'm going to make 10 layups in a row.
I'm going to give you my conservative prediction here, because I think it could get even worse, but I think I'm going to give you my conservative prediction. I think Oklahoma wins this game 24-17. That's what I'm going to go with.
Oh, yeah, that's very conservative. I would give Oklahoma the nod, 35-21.
Yeah, it's just SEC is really hard to score in. I mean, if you think you're going to score that many points, that's impressive. I mean, Georgia did put 28 up on Alabama. I mean, if he puts 30 something, then maybe Kalen DeBoer might want to think about taking the Michigan job if that's the case. if Oklahoma beats Alabama that bad, maybe he doesn't want to stay in Tuscaloosa for sure. I'm excited for this game, though. I'm glad this is the night game on Friday. I think this is going to be like the best game of the college football playoffs, the first round. Maybe, just maybe, it'll be the best one, because there's another good one. I think 2 of the 4 games could be really, really good.